All right, so I have now opened file number ESS_EO5_05, and this is about Centerlines and how to add Centerlines. Whenever I open a part up or create a new part, and I'm going to start dimensioning it, the very first thing I do is I put center marks and center lines in where they are needed. So the way you go about doing this is there's a couple different things we need to do. First of all, we're going to go to the Annotate tab. And a lot of our center mark and center line tools are right here, just above where zone 3 is on my, title block here. So I'm going to zoom in. Oops, always go the wrong way on here. I'll zoom out just a little bit so you can see it on the top view. And what I want to do is I want to put a center mark on this arc / circle right here. They share the same center point. So I'm going to put one center mark in for them. Now, when you have something like that, or you have something like these two holes over here, which are concentric, what you need to do is always click on the furthest out circle so that your center marks extend past the edge of the inner one. I'll show you what happens here. So I'm going to just hit center mark, and I'm going to click on this one. Now you can see that this hole, the lines only go past the inner circle because I clicked on that first. So I'll undo this first. And then I'm going to restart my center mark tool, and I'm going to click this outside one. And in this instance, I get 2/3 of, or 3/4 of the center line marks. So you can do that. Now, the other thing to do here is I'll undo this, and let's see if I can get this to work the way I think it does. If I just click on that one, I should be able to click on the little ball things and move them out. So you can do that if you like to do that. I can just select these and move them out because I do want this leg of the center mark to be on the part. Sometimes you just kind of have to fiddle with stuff. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put a center mark on this slot. So I'm going to use the center mark tool, and I'm going to click on this one, and then I'll click on the other one, and that didn't come out exactly as I wanted it to, because what I want is I want there to be a line in between these two. Well, let's undo it and see if there was one more thing I didn't do there. So we'll start our center mark. That's for a circular pattern. I'm going to click this one, and I'm going to click this one, and I'm going to right click and say OK. All right. Well, that's not as good as I'd like it to be. I guess I can use the centerline bisector here. Yeah. There we go. So I just used this tool right up here, which is centerline bisector. And that way I have a line that shows that these two slots or center points are in line with each other. All right. Now, next one over here, we're going to do the pattern, circular pattern of holes. This is a bolt hole circle. So I'm going to click up where it says centered pattern, and it tells me to select the center of the circular pattern, which I'll select the big hole here. And then I'm going to go around and click on all of these. That's not working the way I expect it to. Hold on a second. I'm going to pause this and come back to you. Okay, so I think I got it figured out. All these things just take time to learn, right? So I'm going to go up to my centered pattern. I'm going to click that. And then I'm going to click on where the middle is of my centered pattern. So I chose the outside hole. Then I'm going to go up and I'm going to click on my first hole. And I'll select the center of that and then the center of the next one. And I'll keep going around and choosing the center of all these holes and until it's done. And then once I've done that, I'll right click and say create. There we go. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the Centerline bisector tool. I just used it over here on this area to create this dashed line, but I'm going to zoom in on my front view here a little bit. There we go. And this is the Centerline bisector. It's the tool right here. It's above the pattern, and it's got two lines, and you'll see a center line drawn down the middle of it. And I'm going to click on that. Now, down in the lower left corner, it says click on a location. So I'm going to click on that line first, and then it says click on a location. I'm going to click on the second line, and it creates my center line. This guy over here, he's a little more tricky. I'm going to zoom in on this. You can see that this is the only line here and here that goes all the way through the part, and that's what I want to use for my bisector. So I click on those two sides, and it actually gives me the bisector line going right down through the middle of this thing. Now, you can do the same thing on this view over here, here, and here. That puts in a center line. This starts getting really confusing sometimes. There's a point where less is better, I guess is the best way to put it sometimes. But you can put the center lines in on the side view also. All right, now here's what we're going to do. You can either undo this. Oh, make sure, by the way, I just noticed this, that Dan is doing this drawing, not Peter. So I'm going to go up to my eye properties here and click on this, and I'm going to go to summary and author. That is going to be my last name. Actually, I'm going to put it in caps because it's supposed to be. There we go. I'll say okay here. So now I've got, my name on it. But that was all not in useful information, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this, and I am not going to save my changes purposely. Now I'm going to open this, and I'll go to my 0505, say yes to all my little error message. And I'm going to show you how to use the automatic centerline tool. I have some good and bad about this, but what the heck, right? So let's do this. I am going to go to annotate, and here's the automatic centerline tool. It's got like a little gold colored lightning bolt next to it. I'm going to select that, and what it says to me is select a view. So I'll zoom in on this, and I'll select this view right here. Apply to. I'm going to go and I'm going to do blue. I'm going to click on these so that they turn blue. See, this one's already a little bit blue, so that's hole features, fillet features, cylindrical features. I'm going to have it do patterns also. And then under projection here, it's going to do objects in view, axis normal, and objects in view, axes parallel. I'm not sure I needed that one. And then I'm just going to say OK. And what you'll notice is that it puts in all of my center lines. I've got this guy over here. I've got my two center marks for the slot on here. I have the center mark for this circle. I'm missing a couple of them though, and I have a couple extras, so we'll sort that out in a second. Now we're going to do the same thing down here on this view. This is the front view. So I'll turn on all three of these oops, projection and everything else, circular, and I'll just say okay. All right, so that puts everything in there. And then I'll come over to this side view here. I'll do the same thing there. Get all of these. I'll say okay. All right, now I'm going to start rooting out stuff that I don't need or don't like. For instance, I don't need right now this center mark in here. So I'm going to just delete that. I'm also going to delete that line from there. I'm going to add the bisector between, oops, wrong spot. Bisector between here and here to put my line in. I don't need this one here either. Let's see, what else do I need? Oh, I'm going to add in my center line for the big arc here. But of course, now this leg is very short, this one on the right-hand side of the circle. So if I click on that, I should be able to zoom in on that and click on it. There it is. I'll get the little green check mark or ball. I'll be able to slide it out and sort of even it up with the one on the left-hand side in terms of its length. Maybe I'm not there yet. Right there, maybe. Well, whatever. So I've already got my circular pattern done. There's another one that I don't necessarily need because that's that big arc, but I will put in this. Sometimes I don't know if this automatic stuff actually helps us all that much. You can just click these and drag them to make them longer, but you can see that this line down here is in a weird spot, or it's not really looking too good. So sometimes you have to go in and delete and put things back in. It could save you a lot of time, but there again, it could cost you a lot of time too. I don't know. Advantages and disadvantages. Over here, this one, on the side view, let's get this so we can see it. Okay, so this one, I'm going to delete this bottom one. And then this guy, I'm going to actually extend out down to here. And that puts a dash in the middle of a long line. So that makes that a little cleaner anyways. This line is a center line for the hole in the part here. I deleted that because I don't need that one. So it's kind of a convenience, and yet it's not. I'm not sure that saved me any time, to be honest with you, because I had to kind of tweak everything. I suppose on really, really, really big drawings, that would be a benefit. So anyways, I'm going to finish this up. Thank you.